All right, everyone, welcome to the 2025 season for our gaming podcast with myself, Connor, Stone, and Jamie. Before we get into this futures and week one picks, let's recap last year. Um, Let me click over here. So, Stone dominated the season. That's the only thing there's to say about it. I was telling someone at work how remarkable his season was last year, 128 and 91 with a positive units of 28 total units. So congratulations, Stone, 2024 champion. But we knew that for weeks leading up to it.
Yeah, it was anticlimactic ending for
And
sure.
then with that, second place, Jamie, 72 and 86, minus 19 units. And then I was behind that because we go based off wins at 70 and 74. Both of us had negative units. Won't spend too much time on that. But I'll get it passed over to Stone for any opening remarks for the season as our reigning champion.
I mean, as historic a season as it was, I'm gonna try my best this year to try and beat it. We'll see how it goes. It's gonna be real tough, but I mean, we're out here to win money, right? And win some props. So I'm gonna try my best to not only go back to back, but try and beat last season. So we'll see.
Jamie, you got any opening remarks for the fans?
Yes. The most important thing again, make money. So we're all about everyone winning. But it would be nice to see Connor pick it up a little bit this year. Um, this year we're gonna try out some new things because my patented strategy was stolen. And
Mhm.
it's a copycat league. That's what they say. It's a copycat league. And you know what happens with it. So we gotta find some new formulas, some new winning things. We're gonna
Is
try
it
out.
is it really copycat if I took it and made it better and did better than you with it?
Yes, it is. Yes. I
Okay,
mean, yeah.
okay. I'll see how it is.
All right, so we already have competing strategies here, or I guess same strategy competition. Um, I guess to give Jamie his credit, he was our inaugural winner 2 years ago. So Stone has one championship, Jamie has one championship, I have nothing. And if it works out the way it did last year, and I'm in last place again, at least somebody's going to have the leg up on the season. Um, I noticed a couple things. I just get too hyped. I get too excited. I think everything's a winner, and then I look back at the end of the season and I'm the worst one. So I'm going to try to play it cool this year, relax, try to find more guarantees, and hopefully make this thing 1-1-1, which would make next year very interesting. But
I think we're
um,
all we're all rooting for you too. Like, I don't want to see you lose.
uh, I don't need your pity.
We
All right.
want to all be competing 100 wins across the board.
Yeah, it's just
Now,
I want more wins than you, but I want you to win as well.
yes.
I would just like if every bet we put in this year we won, so that we would just have an amazing fall and winter and have a big party at the end. But um, I digress. So, just for anyone new out there, kind of just to go through the whole thing, we have two categories we bet on every single week. We have the game side and the player side. That gives us an opportunity to pick lines, over unders, team totals, kind of what have you, as far as the team is concerned, and then also pick out our favorite players. There's been a strategy that Jamie and Stone have already been talking about. It seems to be a running back kind of thing between those two. But each of us have our own themes, and hopefully you grind it out with us this year and we can win some money. And so, how we're going to start out this season, like we do every season, is we're going to have four futures from the player side, four futures from the game side. Each of us are going to go around and pick. We'll go in order. You're not allowed to have the same pick as anybody else. And if there's anybody that's dogging it, or it seems like they're picking picks that are minus 150 or minus 200, we will call them out for that. So we don't try to keep it about minus 110, minus 120 for even picks. And how the season goes is the more you win, the more picks you get. Winner at the end has the most picks. And like we said, Stone set the record last year with 128 total wins, which is going to be hard to chase down and beat. So with that, last year, as far as the categories are concerned, I won the game side, which is hard to believe, at 44 and 31. Stone was 43 and 37, and then Jamie was 14 and 30. So that's the order we're going to go in this week for the game side. which will be myself, Stone, and then Jamie. And then on the other side, the player side, Stone 72 and 47, which is remarkable. Jamie with the winning 48 and 47, and then myself, the worst category of all time, 16 and 33. So that's how we'll go on both sides. And let's start just to give Stone championship dibs. Let's start on the player side with our player features. And Stone, go ahead with your first pick.
All right. We all know the Bengals have a historically bad defense. We saw last year Joe Burrow had to throw the ball pretty much all game to keep up. So I'm gonna go, even though it is a very big number, I'm gonna have to go with Joe Burrow over 4,200.5 passing yards at -110.
All right. Got it. I was really worried there for a second, but okay.
You ready to take a different one?
I love that pick.
I love that pick too. I would. Last year you guys did this a little differently. You picked some major odds, so I was surprised to see that. But I guess we'll see where that goes.
I'm going a little bit different this year. I'll say that.
Okay. Jamie, you're up next on the player side.
Yeah, so on that same line, I love that pick. Who does Joe Burrow throw it to? Jamar Chase, baby. Jamar Chase over 102.5 receptions at -115. He had 127 last year. So, like Stone said, terrible defense. He's going to have to throw it. And last year they got off to a terrible start. I think this year they pick it up a lot faster. So I have no issues with Jamar getting, just over 100 receptions.
Okay, what a great segue. I think we are all in first picks of the year is all going to be in the same vein. I did not have Joe Burrow for yardage. I have Joe Burrow for touchdowns. 33.5. He had 43 last year. I don't see how that number goes down by 10. I don't think they necessarily run the ball better or stop anybody better. And I think they're going to start off a little bit hotter than they did last year. They've been playing their guys in the preseason. That number is -110 as well. So I'm making 33.5 touchdowns, and we are all on the Bengals to start the season off.
I mean, all for the right reasons, I feel like, to be honest.
They're not going to suddenly become a running team or their defense isn't getting any better. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
there's no way they paid Joe 2 wide receivers and they set that whole thing up so that they didn't score 40 points a game, and that's where we're riding right there.
I mean, they did get one of their, what's his name, Hendrickson or whatever. They got him back for one more season, but even they had him last year and they still sucked. So, all right,
Yeah, I was about to say.
Moving on to my next pick. I feel like somebody had to take this one. I think this might be one of the last seasons he does this, but Mike Evans' line is currently at 975.5 yards at -115. I think I got it. I just got to take it to keep the streak alive. Even if he is getting older, I still think we saw last year that the team will go out of their way to make sure he gets
the streak is 1,000 yards, right?
Yeah. So I think.
Oh goodness, I must have lagged out.
Yeah, you lagged a little bit. So I think he's gonna keep that streak alive, and the team will make sure he gets it, barring injury.
Good pick.
Yeah. All right.
And
Get
it's
that to 1,000.
It's the old greasy wheel. Just keeps on turning.
All right, Jamie, pass it to you.
Was my second pick. Talk about old guys that are just going to keep on getting it done. Derrick Henry over 1,350 rushing yards. That's -105. I mean, he had 1,900 some last year. A 600-yard drop off would be insane. I get some regression because 1,900 is a bunch, but 1,350 seems absurdly low.
I like it. I like the Ravens this year. It'll be fun being close to home, seeing the Ravens every game. All right, so my second pick, I'm going to go keep it with the wide receivers this time. I like Marvin Harrison Jr. to go over 69.5 receptions. Last year he had 62. I think defenses are going to be playing Trey McBride a little bit sort of like they were at the end of last year, and I'm thinking that he has a much more prolific season than his rookie year and gets to over 69.5 receptions, which is at minus 115.
Cool. I'm gonna transition to running back here. One of the rookies I like a lot this year. He's looked great in preseason so far. Travion Henderson, his rush yard line is at 700.5 at minus 110. I think he's looked great so far in preseason. I think the Patriots are going to be a lot better this year, and Ramondre Stevenson is not that guy. He's gonna fumble at one time and get benched, and then Henderson's gonna have his time to shine. And I think he might start off a little slower, but I think towards the end of the season he's gonna be the main guy for that team, and he's gonna get the ball a lot, especially if they're a good team as well.
Yeah, I don't think they trust Ramondre. I mean, he had seven fumbles last year, so that's the reason they drafted him is because they clearly do not have any faith in Ramondre. It's just going to be the changing of the guard.
Absolutely.
And that reminds me of my next pick, Bucky Irving. Okay? He last year, Bucky had 1,122 yards last year, so the New England guy can definitely get that. But this year they're just putting him at 1,000. So all I need is 1,000 yards, over 1,000 yards for Bucky at minus 110.
You're a big Bucky guy.
I'm a huge Bucky guy. Picked him up in fantasy like 2 weeks early, but he eventually panned out. And now he's taking over the job. Let me tell you, he's getting drafted early. It's going to be a Bucky season.
Mm-hmm. All right. So as far as the rookies are concerned, I'm going to take a guy I used to love in college, playing at Arizona. He dominated every game. He had a target share. I think they're going to love having him in Carolina. I'm taking McMillan, and that is over 66.5 receptions. That's at minus 125, so a little bit chalky there. He, in his last 2 seasons at Arizona, he had over 84 receptions both years, over 1,000 yards both years. I think he dominates. I think they're going to be behind in a lot of games. They're going to feed him. Yeah, I think he's the best rookie out there as far as wide receivers are concerned, and he's a tall guy too. So I expect Bryce Love to love him.
I mean, they just traded away Thielen, and then they're one of their, I forgot his name, Coker, I think, just went on IR as well. So like it's basically just him and Leggett on that team right now. So I like it. Last pick, I'm gonna stick with the rookie trends. Another rookie running back, Omarion Hampton, over 850.5 rushing yards at minus 120. I think the Chargers, again, going to be a good team like last year. Harbaugh loves to run the ball. They drafted this guy to give him the ball. I know they have Najee, but Najee just started practicing like 2 weeks ago. He was wearing like an eye patch. He was like walking around on the field for such a long time. I don't even know what's going on there. Like he's wearing like super thick sunglasses every interview, so I don't know. They say he's gonna play. He's ready for week 1, but he just started practicing, so I don't know. I think Hampton's gonna be the guy, even if Najee's out there. I think similar situation where he's gonna take over from Travion, but take over like Travion on that team.
Yeah, that is such a weird situation because you would think if he could see like somewhat, he could be conditioning, and he wasn't conditioning at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like walking around, like doing laps, like.
Right. That makes you can't see out of that eye at all. So
it's not like he had great vision anyway.
I think they cleared him today, though, right?
Yeah, I think he's gonna. They say he's.
I thought I saw they cleared him today.
Yeah, they say he's gonna be out there. So.
Okay.
Aries or something.
Sketchy.
Very sketchy.
Super sketchy.
And they drafted Hampton super high. I think they like him a lot. They're gonna run the ball a lot.
So I got to ask, with your rookies, why not Genty?
I mean, Genty is the best rookie out there for sure, but he His line's like, let me pull up his line real quick. It's pretty high. I like Genty a lot. Yeah, his is over 1,000. It's 1,050 right now. I think he easily hits it still, but I don't know. I like a lot of rookie running backs this year, and I'll get some Genty lines later on in the season for sure.
Well, let me hit you with one right now.
Oh,
Over 7.5 TDs. Not the yardage, but the TDs. The man is a thick boy. They get down near the goal line, they're going to feed him the ball. He's going to have plenty of opportunities to get 8 touchdowns. So that's at minus 130.
I also drafted Hampton in fantasy, so
There you go.
I have to go with that.
Exactly.
I like that one. Drafted him in as many keeper leagues as I can get him in. All right, I have one here. I kind of thought you guys were gonna go a little bit harder on the odds. I see that is a thing of the past. So I kind of feel stupid doing this, but I'm gonna do it.
I got some good stuff for the team. So
Cheap Super Bowl.
Okay, all right. So yeah, that's a recurring thing there. All right, so I'm gonna take one. This guy's been moved back to the area. This guy has been hyped up on the radio every single day. They've been keeping him out of preseason stuff, but they love him. They love him at cornerback, and I'm going to take Trey Amos to be the defensive rookie of the year, and that is plus 6,000.
Damn.
There's every single commentator, everyone that's came to practice, it's gone to all the joint practices, has been raving about this guy. They haven't put him on the field. They know he's ready to go. He was at Ole Miss last year. I think like the Raging Cajuns, Louisiana State the year before that, and kind of some steep odds, but I'm gonna have that one and be sitting on it for a little bit for the entire season. Again, I kind of thought you guys were gonna go harder.
I never
Anyway.
even heard of this guy.
Check him out.
He's good, but like Connor, when's the last time a cornerback of any rookie, non-rookie won a defensive award?
Yeah,
Like,
if I had to speak to like the viewers of fans right now, I'd say put it in now. Let this one ride. Stock's gonna go high. Get yourself a little cash out. Maybe he doesn't win it. Maybe you don't win $600 on it, but throw a little
Plan
5
for
or
the
10 on
cash
it.
out.
In a couple weeks, get the cash out. You'll be fine.
What a strategy.
Or that's where I'm at with that. I thought you guys were going way different on this. That's the only one I had. I had nothing left. Okay.
it's not just like I don't think he's even going to have to show. Like, you got a number one quarterback. Like, he's not even going to be guarding the best wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, you get 3 interceptions, a return for a touchdown, some pass deflections, and a couple tackles, and we head our way as a good defense into the postseason. And he's going to be there.
He's not going
to be there.
They're over some defensive end that gets like 10 sacks.
No, I don't believe it.
Okay.
Just keep your eye on that name. That's all you need to know. All right, so that's going to transition to I think it's me, Jamie Stone. Is that right for this one? Let me check.
Last
Me, Stone, Jamie. Okay, that's right. So my first pick here this is actually one of my favorite bets. I think I'm just going to ride this out all year and just have a great time. Enjoy this one. I'm taking the Ravens over. Oh, hold on, I'm not typing. Ravens over 5.5 win streak at plus 110. There's kind of 2 stretches of the season that they could hit this. Both of them are capped off. One of them's capped off with some challenging teams, but they have 2 sequences where they could get 5 in a row, and I just need to cap it on one end or the other. In either one of those places, I think this is one you put in, you get the plus money, and you're riding the Ravens, and you're just tracking it up. I don't think we've had one like that before as far as the streak is concerned, and I'm excited to grind that one out.
That's a cool one. I like it.
I like it too. I think it's very possible.
Long season, lots of games.
All right.
All right.
I think I'm next. I mentioned this already, but a team I like a lot this year is the New England Patriots. I think they're with Mike Vrabel. I think they're really going to turn it around this year. Drake May is going to take a step forward. They got Travion Henderson's going to pound the rock. So I'm going to take their over their win total of 8.5 and minus 110. I think they're in a softer division. They play Miami twice, the Jets twice. I think 8.5 is very doable for them this season.
Drake May is offending. Like, so I think we've had this pick a couple years running. I think maybe both years. The team with the fewest wins. I'm gonna go with the Saints at plus 400 for the Saints to have the fewest wins. I mean, talk about value. I could not believe this line when I looked. I mean, there's some crappy teams, but you got Spencer Rattler at your quarterback. You got some bloated contracts. I mean, I think they want to tank. I think they want to tank. So give me that at
I
400.
mean, they drafted a first-round rookie and they're throwing Spencer Rattler out there. I mean, it's completely unserious team.
I watch a lot of ball. I didn't know who that guy that they drafted. I don't think most people knew him. And then they didn't draft Sanders. I'm not saying they should have, but there's some really bad vibes in New Orleans right now.
Yeah, they are
Which is
100%
sad.
tanking.
Which is very sad for me because that was actually my next pick because I thought plus 400 was insane. I was expecting it to be like 150 or 175. And so Jamie actually has the first snipe of the year with New Orleans Saints, fewest wins. That was my next pick. So that's unfortunate. I've been riding this team. Thought they were on the come up for the last couple of years. I don't know what keeps bringing me back to them, but I think we do enjoy, and I've been doing all right with them. I'm going to take Arizona to make the playoffs, and that is at plus 115. I think their division gets a little bit worse. They were right in the mix last year. I think second year for some of these guys, some more experience on the wide receivers, and bringing back some veterans like Connor and some of those guys. They just paid them. I think that they finally break through and they at least get in there with a wild card. And I'd like plus 115 to get some equity there.
Going back
As long
to, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna, as Kyler Murray doesn't play Call of Duty this year.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I'm gonna go back to a team I said I liked earlier. I took this same exact pick last year and won it for positive money. This year it's a little more chalky, but I'm gonna take Chargers making the playoffs at minus 130.
Okay, a lot of faith.
I think they're a good team. I think they're a better team than last year, and they made the playoffs last year and won me some money on the same bet. So I'm gonna stick with it.
All right. All right. Talk about some young QB that's ascending, and he's got a fantastic defense. I think this team's on the rise, and I think this is a breakthrough year. Broncos over 10.5 wins, and that's at plus 120. Bo Nix for 11 wins. Sean Payton, that defense, which I mean, it was great last year. I think it's going to get better this year. Mile high, every advantage you could possibly think of.
Yeah, 10.5 is a lot, but I really like them. All right, so that's gonna fade into me here, and I'm gonna do a hater pick on this, and that's what I realize is I almost never do unders or do anything like that, and if you bet red every time, you can only possibly win 48%. That's just how it's gonna be. So I'm gonna take the Bears under 7.5. That is at plus 115. I think they got 5 wins last year, a pretty miserable season. I don't really like a lot of the body language coming out about Caleb Williams, about how things are going. And look at that. The week before the season starts, they bring the best defensive player to play across town for the Packers. And so I don't see how they finish any better than last in that division. And I'm going to say under 7.5. And they're going to end up in another bad place, having some bad conversations like the Bears always do.
I am very tempted to go head to head here. except the line is minus 140. It's a little too high for
Mhm.
me. Um, I like the changes they've made this season. They have one of the best offensive lines in the league now. They just drafted a new rookie wide receiver. They have Roma Dunze. They already have DJ Moore, and they brought in one of the best offensive-minded coaches in the league. I think the only reason they do fail is if Caleb Williams is a bum, which is entirely possible. But I think they're completely set up for success this season. So I'm not going to take that pick, but just throwing that out there.
Oh, hater. Okay.
Yeah, I'm hating you. I mean, season he didn't look like he got better to me, Caleb. Ben
Oh
Johnson
yeah.
literally came out and said like they're not picking up the offense.
Hmm.
So that's not a vote. I mean, and then you the quarterbacks that change offensive coordinators never develop. Peyton Manning came in to say this. So this is going to be 2 offensive coordinators, 2 years. Hopefully they do better. They keep them. But I mean, I think Ben Johnson's going to be pining for a head coaching job. So I don't know. We'll see. Um, you know,
We will
we'll
see.
see.
We will see. All right. My next pick's kind of be a homer pick kind of here. I'm gonna take Jacksonville over 7.5 at minus 125. Um, Speaking of new coaches, I think Liam Cohen is a good offensive-minded coach. They have Brian Thomas. They just drafted Travis Hunter, one of the best prospects we've seen in years. I mean, it comes it comes back down to is Trevor Lawrence a bum or not? So we'll kind of figure that out. He has gone out there and won games before. They've made playoff runs with Trevor Lawrence, so I think he can win games. I think their defense is decent. They're in a pretty bad division where they can easily pick up games against some of the bottom feeder teams in there. So I like 7.5 wins.
They start off with a easy game, I think, right? The old Panthers
Yep.
get the ball rolling.
Yep.
Uh,
Not so fast. All right.
you, do you got some Carolina picks under there?
No, I'm just totally kidding. I just wanted to spin it. Yeah.
Okay, I will go. This is probably a terrible idea, but I will also do a hater pick. But the number one hater, the under on the Cowboys, 7.5 at minus 120. I mean, I think it's a horrendous vibes down in Dallas. You just traded away probably your best player. You got back some picks, and then you got back a D tackle. And that's the great D tackle is great for Saquon, but you also play now one of the best quarterbacks in the division too. So you solved one problem, you opened up another problem. Like Micah was hunting down Jaden, now he won't be able to hunt down Jaden. So I don't know. The division's really tough. I think the NFC East has a tough out of conference schedule too. I think they're basically the Bengals South. Dak is going to have to throw the ball a lot, and that's never a good thing. So we'll see with the Cowboys too. Offensive line's not all the way there too. There's some bad things happening. Just bad vibes. Jerry, the owner, just bad stuff. Never good.
I'm forecasting a lot of the same as last year. Get down by 30 and then have to throw the ball for 3 straight quarters and put up some points. But boy, it's gonna be suck being in Dallas. All right, and so my last pick, I'll stay in Texas, and this was kind of a backup pick. I really thought getting sniped on week 1 was going to be nearly impossible, but New Orleans Saints fewest wins really sold it there. So I'm going to take the Texans to win their division. That's at 105. A little bit of a fade on Jacksonville over 7.5. I mean, Jacksonville gets 7.5 and not win the division, but they have Jaguars, Titans, Colts. I just find them to be the best team in there. I think CJ Stroud kind of steps back up, gets away from that sophomore slump, and yeah, I'm looking for some good things from them this season.
That's a tough one. I feel like that is like the toss up. Like anyone could win that division.
I think
anyone but
it
the
seems
Colts.
to always get close.
Anyone but the
aren't winning.
Colts.
I don't think they're winning.
I
You don't think Daniel Jones can lead that team to victory?
Speaking of bad
The-
vibes, I mean, the coach is like on his last legs. Like if Daniel Jones plays bad and they're throwing Anthony Richardson out there, like that is such a bad look. Like it's I don't know. The Colts have bad vibes to me. All right. My last pick. I'm gonna go with a bounce back team this year. It seems like this team is either all or nothing. They're making it to the Super Bowl, or they're like finishing with 5 wins. A lot of that has to do with injury. But I'm gonna take the 49ers to win their division at plus 155. They have the easiest strength of schedule out of the entire NFL. They have Christian McCaffrey back. I think he's gonna crush it this year. I think their defenses, they got Robert Saleh back. I think he's going to turn that defense around, and I think, especially with their easy schedule, I think they can pull off the division this year.
It is. I mean, if they can just, patch it together till Brandon Ayuk gets back, could be very dangerous.
Yep.
But that's all dependent on McCaffrey, I guess. So
they're very
I think Arizona.
All or nothing.
I think Arizona's going to give them a run for their money. That's where I'm at.
I feel like we've said that a few years in a row, and that never happens.
Yep. So. If you bet the same thing over and over again, you're going to hit one. Blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, was a math major. Let me tell you. All right. I kind of like those vibes a little bit. The all or nothing. There's a line that moved because of a certain player getting traded, and I cannot believe it moved this much. I'm going to take the Lions over 9.5 wins at minus 105. You cannot tell me one of the best teams in the NFL, they have had injury, cannot get 10 wins out of 17 just because Micah went to the Packers. Micah's hurt. Packers have nothing to solve the Detroit issue, which is their dual running backs. In fact, they gave away one of their better D tackles so that they could put pressure on Jared Goff. Jared Goff is not the engine of that team. So I don't know. They pulled the Lions down to prop the Packers up, and I just don't see it.
This was one of my backups, so I like this pick a lot. I needed to take some. I had too much chalk on the board, so I needed to take something different.
Since that trade, the Lions are now second favorite odds to win the division at plus 190. The Packers are plus 160. I find that crazy. Anyway, I like that. So that kind of exhausts us for the futures there. So a lot of futures, we'll kind of keep those in the back pocket, use them as life tokens as the season goes on, see if we can add some wins at the end. Last 2 seasons, we didn't have competitive seasons. So I think if we were able to keep it close this year, ideally those will come into play later down the line, and that should make it interesting. But we're going to pivot over to the core of our gathering today, which is our weekly picks. We'll go through the same order as we did from the last round, and we'll start with the player props and give Stone his props for being the champion and let him pick first on the player side.
I mean, it's only fitting to start off with a running back, right? So I'm going to take James Conner at 67.5 rushing yards at minus 114. I think Conner is one of those players that always starts off really strong because he's not hurt and he hasn't played any games yet. But I think he's going to start off strong again. And then I know Conner likes the Cardinals, so
got to get that in there, huh?
Yeah.
I just want to make it known I'm a Commanders fan. I know I've been riding the Cardinals for a while.
No Commanders picks yet, right? Besides the plus 6,000.
They got a tough schedule. They have a tough schedule.
I love this.
You guys are fake, man. Come on.
Hey, I love the way, talking about a Commanders pick. Connor's guy. I'm going to take Bill Broski Merritt. We talked about lines that you could hit in one rush, one reception. This is over 3.5. He could bust the big one and be done in a single rush, and that's at minus 114.
I totally lagged out.
Okay, talk about lines I don't understand. He was taken out of the last preseason game, rested with the starters. So they think, all signs point to him being the bruiser, taking Brian Robinson's role. Play the Giants. We're 6-point favorites. We should be running the ball. I mean, even if he averages four yards a rush, it's 6 rushes. I mean, that's all I need. Love this line.
Well, say that I lagged out, or I would have been hyped up. What was the line?
It's 23.5. So I said all he needs 6 rushes, basically. If he has 4 yards a rush, that's 6 rushes.
Did you say plus 140?
Minus 114.
Oh, see, I really lagged out there. Okay. Yeah, this is another guy, the radio, ever since he came to camp, they get the local radio guys, they've just been in love with him. I mean, they were talking about Brian Robinson not being around or not being the future since the day he stepped foot on campus, we'll call it. And so 23 seems really low. So that'll be a hammer. All right. Well, it's funny you want to do that with Commanders running backs because I kind of saw it going in a little bit of a different direction. So I don't want to call this a head-to-head, but I don't know that they're ready to turn the wheels over to the rookie 6th-round pick that didn't play a lot last year, even though I'd love him for the future. And I'm going to take Austin Eckler over 49.5. That's rushing plus receiving. That's at minus 115. Giants always play us pretty close, and if it is a close game, I expect him to get some receiving. I expect him to get some rushing, kind of be able to get some away from Jaden and kind of go from there. Get some plays in a close game where they're not exactly ready quite yet to give it directly to the rookie. So I'm going to take the veteran on that.
All right.
Wow.
Next pick. This is the lowest this line's going to be all year. But Malik Neighbors over 71.5 receiving yards at minus 110. I just think he's an elite wide receiver. As much as you guys might say the Commanders' defense is good, they're not that good. And I don't think they're not going to throw Amos out there against Malik Neighbors. He's going to get cooked. So I think 71.5. I think they're probably going to be down in the game. They're like wide receiver 2 is like Darius Slayton. They have to give him the ball. And I think he's going to have a big season.
Yeah, a little secret factoid here. Russ Wilson always cooks the Commanders, like just every single time. I mean, the Steelers last year,
That's good to know.
we're throwing moon balls, so I fully expect that one moon ball that Malik Neighbors comes down with and starts a fight with whoever cornerback's guarding him. That I bet plus $1 million.
I'm expecting some moon balls. That's funny. Yeah. All right, Jamie, you're up.
Back to me. I'm surprised a little bit that we haven't had a snipe, but I'm going to go with. I think I might have took him last year, so this might be trying to reverse a trend. Travis Kelce over 5.5 receptions at plus 119. So without Rice, who is suspended, his receptions shot up dramatically. I also think he should be at least a little embarrassed about that Super Bowl performance. He said repeatedly they can't go out like that. They'll be in Sao Paulo. It'll be a big game. He should be turned up for it. I think the Chiefs will be a little bit better than they were last year. Their offensive line at least should be a little bit better. Give Pat some time to get him the ball.
So you picked this exact thing last year, week 1, 5.5 receptions. It was minus 130, so you're getting about 10% equity back on this one.
Well, if he has to hit it still.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's a 0.
Yeah, I don't think we hit it last time. So.
All right, I'll close this out on the player side. And one thing I noticed from last year, now I didn't get a chance to send the boys all their stats, so that's my fault. But I don't think I picked an under all season on the player side, and I was like 17-40 on that side. So I thought, who do we hate the most? Who do we chat about the most that we hate their under that has let us down the most of all time? And that is Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
So we're going to go Kyle Pitts under 39.5 receiving. That's at minus 113. If we're going to hate him because he's destroyed us in fantasy for the last couple seasons, at least let's win $10 on it. And he did not hit this. He only hit this once in his last 8 weeks, I think. And and he was getting benched for some other guy. I don't exactly expect him to turn it around and somehow ball out this year, but
Contract year. He's trying to get that contract.
Yeah.
He's
I
also
don't think
only
you can.
24 years old.
I saw that today. I was looking that up. I couldn't believe it feels like he's been killing us for years. So I've
Yep.
just thought he was 30.
He looks 30 on the field.
He's
So
a
that's a hater pick.
he's
That's
a
a hater
combine darling, is what it is. Combine said this is the most athletic tight end ever, and then he just inconsistent.
All right, so that's gonna close us out. How we'll do it is if you win both of those, if you have a winning percentage for your week, you'll get an extra pick in that category next week. That's how you start adding up picks. That's how you get 129 wins like Stone did last year. So week 1 is the easiest for that, and hopefully by week 10 you're not still at the same amount of picks you had week 1 like me. So we'll just move it on out, and I'll take over for our first pick for the game side. And I'm taking this because I don't want anyone to steal it. I'm taking Cincinnati and Cleveland over. That is at 47.5, which isn't even the highest of the week, and that is at -115. I think all of us are worrisome about the Bengals defense, that they're not very good. I think Joe Flacco will score some points here and there, and I expect Joe Burrow to light it up like we had all of our first picks of the season. We're all on Cincinnati, so that's in -115.
You totally sniped this one for me.
Yeah.
I think this is a slam dunk, especially Cincinnati's week 1 record of not being able to beat bad teams. All right, so I'm gonna have to pivot here, but I'm gonna pivot to one of my future picks. One of the teams I like this year. I'm gonna take New England -2.5 against the Raiders at -118. I think that's an easy line for them to get, especially if they're gonna be as good as I think they are. That's just a field goal. I think that's pretty doable.
Solid. It's always good to have some synergy with your futures and stuff. And so, I really want to jump on this one. This one I might not have taken, but I have Mr. Cardinals fan who's not really a Cardinals fan, is a Commanders fan. Got to take the Cardinals at -6.5 versus the Panthers at -110. Or not the Panthers, excuse me, the Saints. Talking about how good the Saints are. This is kind of a couple futures all together. They just need to beat them by a touchdown.
Yeah, I think it might be several touchdowns. We'll see.
Like it. All right, I was torn on this. I really thought someone would take it. I got my hat on. It's backwards. It says over on the front, and so I'm just going to keep it there. I really thought someone was going to snag Baltimore Buffalo over, which is at 50.5 for Sunday Night Football. This is just vibes here. That's at -110, and I'm just hoping on Sunday night to get some points and kind of have a fun time watching that game. 2 quarterbacks that'll be making their push for MVP starting from week 1. Get some points on the board.
Solid. Didn't even look at that game.
Nice.
All right. I'm going back to my futures, going with the Chargers +3 at -105. It's the Brazil game, right, on Friday.
Sao Paulo.
Is that on Peacock?
I like the Chargers. I already said it. I think the Chiefs are not going to be as good this year. I think they're still going to be good, but I think the Chargers and the Broncos could potentially challenge them for the division this year, and I think the Chargers start out the season strong.
That's a bold pick right there.
Yeah,
I like it.
We'll see.
Chiefs.
Historically, my game picks have been terrible, so we'll see how it goes.
Chiefs could be on the downside of the dynasty, so
Yeah, but they somehow get all the squeakers since they go in their way, and somehow three's not that many.
Right. Honestly, I thought for sure this was scaring me a little bit. I thought you were going to go with the Jags.
I looked at that, but I could have gone there.
Could have gone there. I'll take it. I'll take the Jags over 24.5 at -112. 24.5 team points.
Ooh,
And
love that.
the Carolina Panthers, they're actually a huge over team last year in the games. So, yeah, I think the Jags can get it done.
Their defense was like historically bad. Even if they improve, you're not going to go from historically bad to being top half defense. I don't think in one season at least.
Nope. We'll see.
All right, so that's going to close us out for week 1. Now let's move to our last feature, which is our touchdown parlay. And so pretty much take turns, go and pick a player. Once you use a player that season, you can't use them the rest of the year. Last year, I think this was our best category. Give me just 1 second here.
I know I did pretty well, I think, last
Yeah, so Jamie and I both went 10 and 10 with plus units, and then Stone went 13 and 7, and that gave us 33 and 27, which is 55%. So we did very well. So hopefully we can keep that going again this year. We hit this 3 times, and we ended up with, let me double check, plus 4.5 units on the season for this. So this will be included in our season total for wins losses. And we'll go in order of the rankings last year to make it fair. So we'll go Stone, Jamie, and then myself. So Stone.
This line is gonna be the lowest. It's gonna be all year long. Derrick Henry at minus 145.
Taking Derrick Henry off the board early.
I mean, he's gonna be like minus 200 the rest of the season, so might as well get it on the board early.
Connor, you can go ahead.
No, you came in second last year. You get to go second. I got to go in last.
I'm looking at a couple guys.
I have one if you're not ready.
Yeah, go.
Okay, so I had Jamie had a repeat pick week 1 from week 1. I'm gonna have a repick and I actually get more equity on this. A guy that balled out last year, number 1 tight end in the league. I think he's gonna kill it this year in Arizona. I'm taking Trey McBride, and that is gonna be plus 200. Didn't score as many touchdowns early in the season, but I think this year he is going to be a feature of their offense, just going off of last year. In his chemistry with Kyler Murray, I'm expecting big numbers, and I drafted him in every fantasy league because I love him. Plus 200.
I have him in a lot of leagues too. He's a baller.
Speaking of another good line. Okay, so since you got us some plus, I'm gonna go kind of Stone's way. I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts at minus 150.
I'm lagging out again. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to fix my computer after this. What was it, Jamie?
Jalen Hurts minus 150.
Love that. All right, so our parlay this week is plus 745. We'll be laying that, kind of see how everyone plays out, and then again, if you win your categories, you'll go up a pick, and if you lose, the lowest you can have is 2. So even if we lose, it's no big deal. I know I said I wasn't going to do this. I didn't want to do any more honorable mention because we give a lot of picks. It takes longer and longer every week, but I'm going to give out a freebie here. Terry McLaurin is going to catch a pass on the first drive of the game. I don't know what the number is. It's not out. Ham it, slam it. That is going to be the one. They didn't pay him $32 million for nothing, and that's all I got to say. Stone, you got any closing remarks?
Nope. I think that's all I got. Good luck, everyone.
Jamie, how about yourself? You got anything to close us out?
Yeah, I want to make the comment. His adjusted contract value is actually $28 million a year. He just has some incentives to get him to 30. Just to clear that up. I'm looking forward to this year. This highlight of the year. I'm looking forward to getting to some head-to-heads with you guys. I know we already have one this week, so I'll kind of have Connor a little bit, kind of the same team going on with the running backs of the Commanders. So looking forward to it, boys.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. See you next week.